Buenos dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it to all you haters, like a motherfucking smack addict, right? And as you can tell by that thumbnail right there, yes indeedy, ese Tecolote, el Tecolote, man. We know he passed away, man, and like I said, condolences to his familia, condolences to all his people, his barrio, everyone that rocked with him, his fans, his loved ones. It's always going to be like that. And Menudo está in a direct fashion, man. Like I said, Gunners Collective, man, I send my condolences, no doubt about it. But I wanted to kind of profile the individual and give you a little bit of backplay and a little bit of backstory for those of you that don't know who one Mr. Knightowl, Mr. Tecolote, actually was and is as a person and what he did. So in 1993 is when he first hit the scene. Okay, this vato hit the scene, and I'm not even gonna lie. Being from up north, you know, I had some type of bias towards Chicano rap down south. Now, of course, everybody pumped and rocked the good rhyme, man, with lighter shade of brown. It's that Latin activity. We were all on that shit. We were all on that hype in the early 90s, you know. And also, we were all down with dum, 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 dum. Kid Frost, you know, these were the two individuals, or the group and the individual that were really putting it on the map for Chicano rap. Now, of course, up norte, we had our people like Sir Dino. Shout out to Pastor David Rocha, man. I respect you, my brother. And all the other rappers that were doing it. And there was a lot down south also doing it at that same time. But in the meantime, in between time, the ones that stood out amongst all were, of course, Kid Frost and Lighter Shade of Brown. And I pumped them. I rocked them, man. I didn't really know anything about that, where they were from. I didn't care, to be honest with you. They were this. They were brown. They were brown and proud. They were putting music out there for La Raza, and they were the first ones doing it, and I appreciated it, and I loved it, and I respected it. Now, about 1993, I'm already incarcerated. I'm locked up. I'm in CYA, and I was actually down south in Fred C. Nellis at this time. So this is when I first heard of one Mr. Tecolote, you know what I mean? Knightowl. And I ain't gonna lie, man. At that time, you know, the Bangladesh was real. We were really going at it north and south. The funk was on. It was funk season. Let that be the reason. We were doing what we did. But at the same time, man, music has always been a universal language, and music has been music. And when it's brown and proud music, especially for me, being a raza, being a real Chicano, one of the real ones, I loved what I was hearing. So on the late night, I had me a little tape player. So I would put a little tape in there, and I'd bump some Mr. Knightowl, some Little One, all these different individuals from down south, and I was really feeling the vibe, you know. And I had a lot of his tapes. You know, at that time it was tapes, then it gravitated into CDs later on. But I was bumping his tapes. And so in 1993, he hits the scene. He hits the scene straight out of Waptown, straight out of Barrio Waptown, San Diego, and he really explodes. Like, for those of you that don't know about Knightowl, man, he was born in TJ. He was born in Tijuana, a Mexican national, and then gravitated into the United States with his parents, and of course hit the barrio right there in San Diego, and became accustomed to what was going on, man. Took that choloism to another level, grasped that and ran with it, man, and adapted to the choloism that was going on around him, man. And you can't take that from that man. If that's where he chose to go with it, being a true Mexicano and being of Latin descent, man, that's just the route he went. His pull was gravitated towards that choloism, you know, that Chicanismo, the Chicano flavor. And I appreciate that, man. I've always had love for that. So that man starts to do that. And at the same time, man, he's dope on the mic. There was no denying it, man. How he got into the rap game, one never knows, does one. Everybody has different things. There's some authors that can just rap. They're very talented. It comes natural. It just is what it is. And then there's some guys that don't even know they can rap like Easy, but they find themselves in certain situations and they start rocking that good rhyme. Whatever the case may be, in 1993 is where he first hit the scene, and he became nationally known for his songs. You're in Love with the Gangster, and a couple other songs that he had. And I liked them. You know, I liked all his music. I liked the way his delivery was. I liked his spit, and I respected that. Now, from the gang that he was from, and from what the message that he was rocking, and from the organizations that he was pumping, of course, I felt some type of way, man. I wasn't agreeing. It was a disagreement. But it was never no hate. It was an ultimate respect, but at the same time, a disagreement, right? So that's good. You rock over there, I rock here. I rock side A, you rock side B, or vice versa. Whatever the case may be, man, we had our differences, but didn't mean there was disrespect there. Okay, so over the years, what a lot of people don't know, and what I'm privy to know, is that this man actually started doing a lot of numbers. He started doing a lot for the Chicano community. You know, he put a lot of people on, Little One, Mr. Sancho. There was just a lot of people that he put on, you know, that were doing it because he's a pioneer of Southern Chicano rap. You know, not necessarily Chicano rap. Yes, he's always going to play an intricate part into Chicano rap, and we're going to give him that respect. But at the same time, Southern Chicano rap. He was one of the first ones, just like Ese Toca from Brownside, and them vatos that were actually rocking the sur within their lyrics, within their music, you know, and you got to respect it. You know what I mean? They demand their respect, and you shall give them their respect. That's just what it is. And if you don't, and you feel like disrespecting them that day, well, yes, the wind's blowing. Go ahead and handle it. You know what I mean? And see how see how you come out at the end. You know, there's an end to every story, and this is the never-ending story. Bang, bang, Sebastian. So it was what it was. But he started rocking, and I'll give him that ultimate respect for being a pioneer of Southern Chicano rap. You know, that flavor down there, it's always been a little bit different from up north. Up north, we had a little bit more of an urban flavor. You know, you got Big Tone, you got rappers like that, Woody. The list can go on and on. Rest in peace, Speedy Loke, Woods, all that. But at the same time, I was privy and I was listening to what was going on down south, especially because I was actually incarcerated down south. That's all that was around me. So I was hearing Mr. Shadow play, and I was hearing Knightowl and Nightmare and all these different people playing, and I was liking it. You know, I was liking the music. I'm just going to keep it real and be honest with you, and I still pump it to this day. So what a lot of people don't know is this man actually got so major that Eazy-E wanted to sign him to Ruthless Records. But at the same time, Eazy was in negotiation to sign one Mr. Knightowl to Ruthless Records. That's when Eazy succumbed and died, you know, due to the HIV virus. And so when Eazy passed away, that deal pretty much went off the table because that was pretty much a personal thing between Eazy and Knightowl that was being negotiated. You know, and I think that was probably a big loss, man, because I think if Eazy-E would have put his name behind someone like Knightowl, he would have really blew up even more than he did. You know, but that man continued to struggle and strive and toil in that soil from where he was from. And he kept pushing his narrative, man. Kept rocking his good rhyme, kept making tape after tape, mixtape, CD after CD, and doing his thing. And for that, man, he's to be respected, man. That man really worked hard at his craft, at his art. You know, music is an expression of art. And especially when it comes to the Chicanos, man, you gotta love and respect that art, respect that twang, respect that flavor, respect what's going on. Now, I respect all music artists regardless of creed, of race, of any of that, man. I don't care about none of that, man. You could be from the planet Neptune, Sasuke. Where were your antennas when that motherfucker was singing that dope rhyme? Go shorty, it's your birthday. It doesn't matter if you're from New York, from Chicago, from Atlanta, from the East Bay. None of that matters, man. At the end of the day, if you have good music, I'm going to listen to it, you know, and I'm going to respect the man and all the hard work put into that song. But he continued to do his thing, you know, and also in the gang underworld, man, he was also doing his thing. He was well known out there, you know, his people respected him from his body. He was very well respected. And quietly as it's kept, I didn't even know how old Knightowl was. It blew my mentality. It blew my mente the other day when he passed away, you know, and I started to look in research before I dropped my my spill about it. My breaking news spill, gracias. And I seen, man, this vato was 62 years of age. This man was older than I thought. You know, he was older than a lot of vatos listening to parents right now. And I didn't trip, you know. If I would have known that, like I know now, I've always respected my elders, man. I would have gave them even more respect than I gave them. I would have never did that back and forth. Yes, there was a back and forth between Gunners Collective and one Mr. Knightowl. And that was just based on gangs, frivolousness, and not being on that same page, right? But like I said, man, we conversated, we got on that same page, and we chose to go our own ways, but with a whole lot of respect involved. And that's all you can do as a man. You can stick your chest out, you know, that chest stone that you get doing burpees and preston, and show respect and love. And that's what I do, man, because I admire legends. Okay, this vato now has cemented his legacy. He's a legend, and not just because he passed away that makes him a legend. He was a living legend just a week ago. You know, I had to respect that. I knew who he was. I listened to his music when I was younger. I already knew what time it was. You know, hey, quietly as it's kept, we're going back, beefing back and forth on some other shit that other people started. But at the same time, man, there was always that much respect there for him, you know. I admired the individual. And I continue to this day, and I will always keep his music pumping out of my speakers, and I will always show love and respect to real ones that did it in a real way and continue to do such. Now, being from Southern Cali, like I said, there was always a bias there for me. Okay, and I'm just going to be honest. To sit here and lie and fucking do things for monetary gains would be frivolous. I'm telling you right now, straight up, there was always a bias, man, just because of the geography and based on where he was from. And a lot of the narrative that he was saying. And even when Tony A, the Wizard, respects to Tony A, the Wizard, man, he gave me a shot. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Always will, man. Another innovator and another person that was very heavy and still continues to be heavy, very heavy in the Southern music game. I got a lot of respect for you, Wizard. I seen them having their little beef. And, that was over whatever it was over. I don't know those man's personal inner workings of why they were beefing, but I know one of the things that came to light was Knightowl was tripping because Tony A actually was doing interviews with Norteños or ex-Norteños. Let's not get it twisted. They weren't active gang members. They were actually ex-Norteños or inactive Norteños, and he was doing interviews with them. But based on music, he wasn't tripping on their life story. He wasn't tripping on the aggression that they had or the wars that they were involved in. He was more trying to bring the music to the light because it plays a big intricate part into the history of Chicanoism, Chicano history, man, Chicano music. So he did that. And of course, Knightowl felt that if for no other reason, that was disrespect to the Southern raza and to what they were pushing in their narrative. I ain't mad at him, man. Like I said, everyone's entitled to their own feelings, and that's the way he felt. So they started to beef, and like I said, there was probably a lot more that went into that, and it started going tit for tat, and it started going back and forth. And of course, me, being a listener to YouTube, I sit here and I soak it all in. Now, that goes for all you guys listening to this right now. People listen to certain individuals, and they run with whatever they hear. It's not always about what you hear, and it's not always about what you see, man. It's about what you encompass and what you grasp. You need to be real with yourself. If you're feeling a certain individual because you're just feeling them, then continue to do that, man. If you're not feeling the individual just based on looks, the aggressiveness, the way he acts, man, if you think he's a J-Cat, that's fine and dandy too. There's no one in this world that's going to hold your hand and tell you what you can listen to and what you cannot listen to. At the end of the day, man, don't judge a book by its cover. Judge a book by the character of their content, period. And I was hearing this go back and forth. And of course, I was going to rock with Tony A, not only because I respected him just a little bit more as a man and because he gave me a shot and we had a little personal relationship right there. Also, at the end of the day, man, I felt that the narrative that one Mr. Knightowl was speaking was in the past. I'm a true believer in the uniting of the raza, of coming together as a people. Now, whatever's going on in the Pinta, whatever's going on, that's their business, that's their world. They're going to deal with that how they deal with that, man. And it's nothing but respect to the vatos that are doing it like that, There's never been a bone in my body that says I'm going to disrespect them individuals because I fully believe, man, that they're functioning to the fullest and doing what they have to do to survive. That's their world, homes, and they live in it. We're out here, so I can only speak on out here. And things that I've been through when I was in there, not what they're going through right now. That's their business, and we're going to leave it at that and in that fashion. But I will say that some of the derogatory statements, some of the choice words that one Mr. Knightowl was saying, El Tecolote himself, I just wasn't in agreement with, right? And that's where our back and forth came along because I wasn't agreeing and he wasn't agreeing with my agenda. And that's fine, man. Grown men don't agree all the time. It doesn't mean they hate each other. It doesn't mean that they got to take it to the streets and they want to kill each other and there's blood and whoop-de-whoop and beep-de-boop-boop-boop. No, okay? What you need to understand is grown men are entitled to have a difference of opinion. At the end of the day, they're both grown men and they're to be respected as such, man. And there's two sides to every story and then the truth. Okay, and I can say as far as us, man, we always kept it respectful to a certain point, but there was just a little bit, just a smidgen of disrespect that went back and forth. Okay, and for that, I am truly sorry. For that, I truly apologize. I apologize to all those who've ever taken offense on words that I say or misconstrued the words that I say. I hate gun. Gun's always talking shit. No, gun is just being real. I'm just saying the real. And there's a lot more shit I could be real about, but I keep it in the cuts, right? Because it's not for everyone's consumption. It's not for everyone's mind state, man. It shouldn't be put out there, I got the pictures. I got the text messages. Orderly, mommy love. Man, it's all good in the hood, man. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? You got to read between the lines on it. You already know what it is. But what I'm saying is this. Mr. Tecolote, at the end of the day, like I said with our conversation, man, it was nothing but the utmost respect. And I respect his get down. And that's why I kind of wanted to profile his style. So let's take it back without saying too much about what went on between me and him, because at the end of the day, man, it ended on a good note. And we had respect for each other as we walked away from each other. But I will say this, dispensa, homie, for everything that you went through. Dispensa, man, wherever you're at right now, shining your light upon the Chicano race, man, thank you, homie. We appreciate all the struggle that you went through to bring us them good music, man, to open up doors for young Chicanos to get in the rap game, to let it be known, homes, that we rock a certain way, and to let it be known that we're a very aggressive warrior people, man, and that we're not going to fucking bow down to nobody. Thank you, man. For that, bro, the words you spoke were right out of my mentality, man. You did that, and you had the platform to do it, and I appreciate that. So in 1993, Tecolote is going to sign to Eazy-E. Okay, and then Eazy-E passes later on, or this is later on down the line, Eazy-E passes, and that never materialized. But like I said, the man kept going and blew up and blew up. And then eventually over time, man, he took he went back a little bit, took a few steps back and started promoting younger rappers to his Sawed Off Records, man. And what I respected about the man was he always did his own thing. He showed a lot of love for the community, showed a lot of respect. And that's what a lot of people don't know. A lot of people in his community would tell you, man, this man gave back to the community. You know, hey, he gave 5 to the community. He gave back to his people and for his gente. You know, and it's cool to give to all people. Righteously, we're all human beings, man. We're supposed to love everybody. But at the end of the day, it starts at home. It starts with your own. You know, it's always going to be like that. In prison, you're going to have division, man. You're going to stick with your own. On the streets, it's pretty much like that too, man. You love everyone, but you always stick to your own. You come from that barrio. You come from that neighborhood. You're going to just have a little bit, just a smidgen, more love for your gente and your people. And he always showed that, you know, regardless of what his mind state was concerning North and South and how he felt about the separation and what he believed to the moment that he passed. That was that man's beliefs, and he's entitled to it. Everybody's entitled to their own way of thinking. I'm not here to change your ways of thinking. I'm here to give you the education and the respect to know the difference. Orale, 12-step program. That's all I'm doing here. You know, some people say, Gun, you're not being positive. You're speaking about people in the negative light. I'm not speaking about anybody in the negative light. I'm a positive person. I have a lot of energy. I'm here. I'm rocking the good rhyme for the people, by the people, with the gente, for the gente. Raza, Chicanos doing it, man. And I'm going to continue to struggle and do that for the gente and the people, man. People like Mr. Knightowl did it for the people, and I'm going to continue as such. I'm going to take his lead and run with it. And that's just what it is. Now, I know it's just a YouTube platform, and I ain't no fucking musical genius, and I don't rap, and I don't do things like that. But at the end of the day, I'm going to use my mouthpiece, man, and do what I can to push and rock that good rhyme for the people, man, so that way our voices are heard. You know what I mean? Our voice needs to be heard as a Chicano people. Our voice needs to be heard as a human. You know what I mean? Period. We all demand respect, and we all should get that to a certain extent. Ain't nothing fake here, man. The only thing fake is the people listening talking fake shit, man, that don't know the real. Bang, bang. Anyway, so at the end of the day, man, I just want to show the ultimate respect and kind of profile Mr. Knightowl. You know, like I said, coming from Barrio Waptown, whatever he chose to do in the streets and whatever he did and whatever his enemigas feel, you know, at the end of the day, man, you got to give that man respect. That man put on for the Sul. That man put on for the raza. That man put on for the gente. That man put on for all Chicanos, you know. He never denied his roots. He never denied the stilo. He never denied where he was from. You know, at the end of the day, he represented to the fullest, and all I can say is I respect that. You know, now people say, hey, Gun, why do you respect gang members so much? I respect everybody. Okay, I'm not here to push negative. It's not that I respect them more than anyone else. I just know, being a past gang member, what we had to go through. There was a lot of situations and a lot of circumstances that arisen that we had to go through as people, man, that some people could never understand and never will understand, you know. And this goes out to all ex-gang members or all current gang members, man. They will never know, Hums. Forgive them, for they don't know. You know, there's a lot of struggle and strife you have to go through. You know, people just don't understand. And a lot of people don't want to understand. And a lot of people don't care to understand. But that, at the end of the day, it's our job to make it be known, man, that we're still here. Vatos, period. And that's just going to be that way. You know, and Vatos like Knightowl, through his music, through his words, through his motions, through his acts, generated that, man, and showed people, man, how it was to be a young Chicano from Southern California and how they rocked and their stilo. Because there's different stilos. Yes, everyone sits here and says North and South, we're not too much different. No, we're not too much different. We all eat frijoles. We all eat tortillas. We all flip our hat up and handle our business. But at the end of the day, there are some differences. Differences being geography. Differences being ways of the audio. Differences being, you know, different mentalities and the ways that we think and certain things. But at the end of the day, man, we're all brown. And that's what it comes down to. Brown warriors doing warrior and brown things. Period. Plain and simple. Anyways, just the ultimate respect to Mr. Tecolote. I just want to show love again. I know I touched on it when he passed, man. It's a big loss for our community. It's a big loss for our gente. It's a big loss for the raza. You know, for those of you that hated on him or think, oh, well, man, all's well that ends well, man, nothing ends well when it comes to this. It's getting real out there, gente. You need to pay attention to what's going on around you. Pay attention to all the frivolous talk that people are speaking, because it's nothing but frivolous. You know what I mean? But naked shit. Anyways, at the end of the day, it's all love, all respect. You know what it is, man. Mr. Tecolote, Knightowl, you got the guns love, man. And I'll always rock that way. I'm never going to switch up. I don't do that. Anyways, at the end of the day, man, move fast with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about going out there and hustling for your familia, hustling for your people, being true to your true friends. You know, the ones you call at 6 every morning. You know, the ones that listen to you and try to talk you out of drinking and driving and doing bad things. You know, the ones that are always there for you. The ones that catch you out and give you money, man, when you're down on your luck. The ones that are sitting there to hear your problems. These are the true friends, man. You know, not the ones that disrespect you, that never show you love, that could care less if you fucking fall off the map. Those are the wrong ones. Orderly, shout out to the real ones, and shout out to all my homeboys out there, real ones in New Mexico. You know what it is, the gun, bang, bang.